Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes though. She like, ooh la la, they go, ooh la la, they like, ooh la la, we go, ooh la la, okay, ooh la la, she like, ooh la la, they go, ooh la la, ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. POPAVIST. POPAVIST TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Over here on this side, we deal with sports, hip hop, entertainment, popavisms 101, interviews sometimes, and motivation. If that sound like something you can rock with, then before you exit and hit stage left, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, smash that noti bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But you know how I do. You know how I start my show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. Clearly, we in the end game. And I always say that plainly, but I don't. But real quick though, I know you see the thumbnail. You're like, what's Styles P? What is he talking about? Real quick, you know what I mean? Because my bracket is pretty much dead now. And I should have had the purge mask on, purging. You know what I mean? Let me see something real quick. It's probably a little better. Should have had the purge mask on. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Milwaukee, Giannis, all your dreams of winning the title back-to-back is out of here. Phoenix Suns. Do you ever think about when you out of here? All that we better than last year, we gonna come back like the Spurs and with a vengeance. You out of here. Not only is you out of here, but you didn't even put up a fight. You let them niggas go out there and kill your cousin and you ain't gonna do shit? Damn it, man. Luka, my bad. Because I damn sure got on him was like, the TNT brothers was arguing who's the best player. And it was looking like I was going to say Devin Booker. But it looked like it's Luka. Luke, I am your father. Jeez. So my bracket is busted because as you clearly can see, I had Milwaukee and I had Phoenix going to the chip 2 times back to back. Now it look like it could be Dallas and Miami 9 years ago. You know what I mean? 9 years ago. Now it's Boston. We're going to see. Boston. And over here, dang, I can't believe Phoenix is out of here. Dallas said, we will take that spot. But now it could be Boston and Golden State. Miami and Dallas would be good, but it's no LeBron. It's no Dirk Nowitzki. But it's looking like it might be Boston, might be Golden State. It would have been a loss if we was betting today. But we ain't bet today. Y'all know the fast is over, even though I ain't jumped back into the betting yet. But now that we got that out the way, you see the thumbnail, you see the title. And unfortunately, niggas is Persian out here. You know what I mean? And, when the news came out yesterday, the BuFFaLo shooting that is, because we also know on Friday night, which I didn't know when I went live, that after the game in Milwaukee, that it was anything over. I believe I don't want to be lying on the channel or give out misinformation. To my knowledge, anything over like 3 people getting shot is considered mass shooting. So that's why when you hear the word, you think of something like that happened in Buffalo where people was actually dying, but really it's just massive shooting. And in the case of Milwaukee, nobody died. All praises due. But it was 17 people injured. And they were saying the ages was ranging anywhere between 17 and 47. And not only was it one shooting, but it was a couple of shootings. I think 3 shootings in total, and 17 people was injured that night. And you know, it was after they lost. You know what I mean? Game 6 in Milwaukee. You know what I mean? You won Game 5, and you know, on Boston, they come and they spank you at home. You should have won. And then after that, pandemonium in the streets of Milwaukee. You know what I mean? And you know, so that was a mass shooting. Then I believe yesterday was a mass shooting as well in California. Oh, but you black, but it wasn't black people. It was I believe they saying the shooter was a 63-year-old Asian dude, and he went up and shot up a Taiwan or a Taiwanese or whatever. What I was reading, you know, church while they was having their church services, like a brunching. You know what I mean? And I recall, you know, my days of going to the church. Shout out to my friend Hassan, and I used to go, and that's where I, you know, was playing the drums at his church, you know, yesteryear, and he used to be on the organ and shit. You know what I mean? And I know we had Bible class. It was church. It just seemed like it was a never-ending saga of church. And as a kid, you don't want to be there. You know what I mean? You don't really understand. It's a whole bunch of adults. You can't, you know, you got to be on your best behavior. And so, you know, if I'm not mistaken, this is the second church shooting. Obviously, the other one was in North Carolina, where, you know, the white supremacist dude came in there, act like he needed help or service, sat in the back, wait till they, you know, bow their heads and pray, and then got up on some coward shit and then start airing the church out. You know what I mean? You know, white on black, you know what I mean, crime. And, you know, that was unfortunate. And now yesterday, you know, we got the BuFFaLo shooter, Peyton, Gruden or Graydon or whatever the hell his name is, 18-year-old boy, you know what I mean? And it's just I seen the video, and I wish I didn't watch the video. It wasn't as horrifying, and I don't want to be insensitive to nobody to any of the families that lost their life. But like I said, y'all know I'm real squeamish on the channel, and I'm full transparency. You know what I mean? Real authentic. You know what I mean? That feeling. It looked like a video game. You know what I mean? And I've played Call of Duty. I suck. You know what I mean? Shout out to all of the small boys that kill me. You know what I mean? On Call of Duty, and just the way of the game and how it functions, I'm just not good at it. You know what I mean? Now, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, you know what I mean? What's the other joint with the Ninja Gaiden? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Boxing games. But for some reason, the Call of Duty, I'm not good at it. I super suck. Getting killed by the zombies, level 1. But it looked like a video game, and I'm not being funny when I say that. Y'all know when I say I'm being funny, but I'm not being funny. And again, rest in peace to all of those who lost their lives. Obviously, 10 people was I think there was 13 people was killed, or 12 people. 10 of them was black. You know what I mean? And the video I seen, you can see the one white guy in the aisle holding his hands up, knowing he about to lose his life, and then you hear him, and then you hear this fucking dude like, "Oh, I'm sorry, my bad." Like, you know what I mean? So you know it was racially, you know what I mean, motivated. You know what I mean? Even though on the news, you know, they got a charge with you know, with a hate crime, etc. But it's like dragging. Yeah, I hate when they be like allegedly. When you get caught red-handed, it's like, we know in a court of law you have to be proven, you know, you innocent till proven guilty. But when, I mean, like, come on, when you come in the room and you see the knife, you know what I mean, with dripping with blood, or in this case you see, you know what I mean, you know he did it. That's why they arraigned him right away. I think that's the fastest arraignment I ever seen in my life. Like, right, go to court right away. And I've been to court a few times. When you get out the car, obviously people was oblivious. They don't even have a clue that, you know what I mean, today is the day. And none of us do. None of us do. That's why you have to live in the moment. You have to always be prayed up. And that's not going to save us either. We all going to die, because we all born to die. The process, you know, part of living is, you know, because you're going to die. So that's why while you're here, you have to make it count for something. You have to do something. You know what I mean? You should want to do something, because you're just out of it. And it's no age, you know, arrangement like, nah, you're going to wait till you're 60, then you're going to die. Or you're going to wait till you're 70, then you're going to die. We know babies get killed. Obviously, another mass shooting was the Sandy Hook. And that was a few years ago, but those was all kids. Came in there and killed kids and teachers. So this is not shocking and amazing. When you see, I didn't see that footage, But when you see this footage, and I think I'll give it to another mass shooting that I wish I wouldn't have watched the video, even though I was gonna say before I was like, let me not, because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the dead. Is the video, and I talk about it or quote it a lot on the channel because it's just one of the ones that sticks out to me. Is the kids falling off the balcony in the mall, you know what I mean? And it's horrifying, you know what I mean? When you can see their bodies, horrifying, you know what I mean? I hope I never go out like that. I hope that's not my plight. And you never know how you're going to go out. And I talked about this as well in the last couple of videos in light of Kevin Senior's passing. But anyway, another real video that got me really, really mad. And obviously, I wish I wouldn't have seen the video like that. Absolutely, absolutely. Another video is when those motherfuckers went to the masjid. I can't remember what masjid it was, but they came in there and they ambushed them. You know, I think somebody was shooting inside, went inside and was shooting. And I seen this shit on WhatsApp. And I mean, I was actually at the spot about to put some chicken dinners in, because that's your money, son. And you know, brother like, yo, you seen that shit? I said, nah, I heard about it. You know what I mean? And I don't know why. I was like, yeah, let me look. But he let me see the video, and you can see people running out frantically because, you know, that's not something that happens. I attend the masjid, so it's all peace, it's tranquility. It's a place where you can go and just have a peace and woosah. You know what I mean? I'm being funny, but I'm not. That's a place you can do that. And you know your belongings not going to be stolen. You know, like nothing as crazy is going to happen, even though we living in crazy times now. So anyway, I guess the shit popped off inside, and then the people was rushing out, and then people was waiting for them with the burner, you know, with the rifles and all that. And even one dude had an axe and just caught the lady as soon as when she came out. And I'm only bringing that up because these are the times that we living in. And I say, Tony, there was no other way, and I be playing, but I'm not playing. Because Doctor Strange knew Tony was going to die. Thanos was going to kill him right there. But when he was in his head, you know, I'm Marvel and I do what I want on my show. There's no set format. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Thanos was going to kill Tony Stark. That's why he shoved the knife in him, ripped his helmet off, and was showing him like all that for a drop of blood. I'm about to murder you. And then I hope they remember you. I hope they remember you, Starks. And after I shred this shit, I hope they remember all your works. But he was really being sarcastic because he knew that they wouldn't. And so Doctor Strange, he knew Tony was going to die already, right then and there. But he said, you know what? If I save him and give him the time stone, in the future he's going to die. So it's like he's going to die anyway, and we all going to die. I be saying that I be playing, but I'm not. When you constantly see stuff like this happening, it lets you know that we in the end game. So why did I put Styles P and put that reference to his rhyme? And first of all, let me say this before I get to that. I'm in these YouTube streets. Y'all know that. I'm running through these YouTube alleyways, and they should have never let me in the game. They should have never let me. So on a couple of other channels, obviously this is the trending topic, unfortunately, because you can't turn the lights back on once they go off. It's not a movie, right? None of us is that strong. And once the lights go off, none of us is coming back on. And when they do come back on, a lot of us going to wish that they never came back on, because then you're going to have bigger, problems on your hand. And that's if you believe in judgment. I do. So I try to live righteous to some degree. Don't be a scumbag. Don't be the scum of the earth. Don't do shit that, you could be held accountable for or will be held accountable for in the hereafter. So on some of these channels, you was hearing people saying, what I was saying. You know what I mean? And as far as the train incident, and real quickly, I told y'all when I did the video about the subway shooting and the mass shooting that happened in New York City, in my city, people got their heads down, they're not paying attention, AirPods in their ear, you can't hear nothing, you can't even hear blue blue, you can't hear none of that. Like don't do, you about to get your TV turned off, you can't even hear none of that because you're too busy looking at Instagram in the morning, you looking at Wallow and Gilly the Kid, etc. You know what I mean? And I just recently had to go to court, taking my landlord and shit, going to court and all that. These landlords be scum of the earth, pieces of shit. You know what I mean? And so I had to get back on the train. I was on the train prior to that too. So this is why what prompted me to bring this up. people are oblivious on the train. Like just when we went to court today, like then last Wednesday. And I'm not on the train much, but I do take the train. Like I said, I take the bus. I get around New York how I get around, real New Yorker. But going downtown, all the way Center Street to the court, all that shit is in the same area, even though it's not criminal. People like this. When they go blue blue and people get off and get on, some people ain't even looking up. And I know this because I'm not on my phone. I'm actually looking and watching everybody. Not out of fear, because you only feel law once at a time. That's that. You can have some anxiety or some nervousness or a little intrepidation, but it is what it is. But not on the train, and just not in general. Like when it happens, it happens. Every time you walk out your house, it's a possibility that you're not coming back. That's every day, and we don't probably pay attention to that. That's why when you walk out, you say a dua or a prayer. When you're walking out, and when you step outside your house, that you return safely, or you say inshallah, which is if Allah wills, then you're gonna come back. If the Most High wills, if He don't will, then you're not coming back. But I don't think a lot of people realize that. And in today's times where people use vehicles to run people over, people go outside, people get hotel rooms in Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. One of my favorite destinations, because I'm a risk taker. Shoot people at the concert, and when you see stuff like this scumbag motherfucker who drove, over 200 and something miles to come do this fuck shit that he did in the black community, right? In a place that's predominantly black. People is just on the train, and that's why I said Wallow and Gilly the Kid, because one particular older lady too. And I was surprised, like, damn, they following is big, because she was looking at that, and not everybody is on their phone. Some people is reading, but still, you have to be observant. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because on the other channel, it was almost like they was blaming the people in the supermarket. Like, yeah, you too busy, worrying about everything else. You're not being observant. And I do think you need to be observant. When you're in the supermarket, you just, like, even in the movies, when dude put the Joker mask on or the Bane mask, when Dark Knight came out and shot up the movie theater, like, you going to the movies. You need to be observant of what you're doing. But you definitely, I say, when you in the street, when you outside, and because it may not be a mass shooting, in the neighborhood that I live in, and some of y'all, most of y'all, but you black. So in this particular case, it was some white fake supremacist nigga, you know what I mean? Did that to the community up there. But when I walk out my crib, and I go visit the people that I love and that live in these neighborhoods, I can get shot with a straight bullet from black on black and niggas doing fuck shit. So I just wanted to get that out the way first, but now I want to speak about this. When it comes to guns, right? They keep constantly saying they need to crack down on the illegal guns, and gun law this, gun laws that. Forget what the gun people is, and again, I'm not the most versed, so sometimes I fuck shit up, not on purpose though. The union or the organization for the guns and shit. I mean, the ARA or whoever they are, the politicians and people got to keep fighting with them on what's acceptable, what's not, what's the process of getting guns and who they should vet, background checks and all this and all that. And I say, obviously, guns in the wrong people's hands obviously is a dangerous thing, especially high-powered weapons. And I know what it's like to shoot guns at the range and not at the range. If you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt yourself, obviously, as we've seen in countless videos with criminals and even with little kids. Obviously, the most recent was Paris and CaN, when she killed herself and her cousin on live, and she had whatever type of weapon she had with the drum on it. I do know it had a drum on it. When you don't know what you're doing, you can hurt yourself, and you can hurt others. The thing is this, though, right? Criminals going to be criminals, and the law-abiding citizens are going to abide by the law. They're easy to police, to govern, because they're law-abiding. They're not trying to break the law. It's not no mavericks and no people that's trying to go against the system. They're just following the law. If it's the law, it's the law. They just try to just follow the law. Fucking do-gooders. Too bad you couldn't do good in marriage. Eminem reference. I'm bringing this up to say like this. For the regular civilians, the law-abiding civilians, and obviously in certain states you can carry And this is just my thoughts after seeing stuff like this. I believe when certain shootings that took place, if it was regular civilians that had weapons, then it would be less casualty, and possibly instead of going out in cuffs, now I mean, giving yourself up fake like you're going to kill yourself, you'll be laying right next to the people that you killed for the few that you was able to get before somebody got your ass. You know what I'm saying? And I say that in a sense. I think Trump was saying this. You know what I mean? At one point in time, it's like, yeah, if it's people, a teacher, or police at the school, and we know that when the police come, 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10, even 7 times out of 10, which is 70%, and then we putting money on the game, I'm taking those 70% odds all day. Saying a 70% chance that Dallas gonna win today, I'll take that bet. And that's you. That means you're dead already. A nigga mentioned my team, you're dead. Heard what I said? You're dead. So that's bad when the police come. The damage is already done. The bodies is already laid out. But if it's the civilians, law-abiding civilians, and again, in certain states, you allowed to carry, some got to be concealed, some got to be shown that you holding. You know what I mean? You holding. So when you see some videos and, dudes have they burners right there. And even in the video that he got, this fucking Peyton dude, AR right there in the front seat, like, and I said, you drove 200 something. Anytime I get on the road for a long road trip, chances are I'm probably going to get pulled over. Chances are I'm probably going to get pulled over. Swerving in the lines, not signaling. Once they pull you over, they smell the poison, they smell some marijuana. And it's like, no, you don't. I wasn't swerving. I signaled. You fucking profiling me. You know what I mean? And that happened a few times. And that's me. That's you. But you black. Sure, this motherfucker just drove all the way up there with not a care in the world. You know what I mean? And when the police is, on their little hiding places, or, they train for certain things. You got your hat on, you got your glasses. They obviously know if you got no tints. Could clearly see in your car. So did he stop at a rest spot, put the tactical gear on, or was he just driving like that? You know what I mean? Like one of the witnesses that was in the store that got away, a black brother with the beard and shit, that was on CNN and some of the other channels. His observation, he was like, it's almost like if he came here on a mission. Right. He was on a mission. And he understood the task. Kill black niggas. Then you had, obviously, I'm not knocking nobody. This is people loved ones. I was on the phone with somebody from prison today. I was on the phone with KO, actually. And, he in Wendy's, and he like, it's a lot of people from BuFFaLo here. And when the shooting took place, they locked them down right away because, like, God forbid somebody hear or see somebody, one of their loved ones, and now they inside ready to Hulk smash and, take their frustrations and anger out on some of the guards that have been talking tough and doing their job extra, doing a little more that they don't supposed to be doing. So they locked them all down. You know what I mean? And what you see on TV now is they have individuals and people's holding up the Black Lives Matter. And Black lives do matter. And all lives matter. Hopefully that don't trigger nobody, because all lives do matter. But I get why people came up with the phrase. But nonetheless, Shorty is in the mansion, and then another mansion, and then another mansion, and then, footage come out that, she lying, or, Candace exposed her. That shit was just a hoax. You know what I mean? And the thing is, black lives will matter when they matter to each other. You know what I mean? So now that that's out the way, I think civilians should be able to carry. Because say you are in there, you know what I mean? And then they say on the video I seen, you don't get to see the images up like the faces. Obviously, you just see him popping off. And when you got an AR, that shit going to tear you in half. Like, you know what I mean? So people didn't have a chance. And then also, he made sure they was dead by shooting them multiple times, the ones that was laid out. But they said it was a security guard in the front, ex-officer, etc. And they called him a hero. And obviously, if he let off any shots before he was taken down, he is a hero. You know what I mean? For trying to protect lives. But the thing is, he didn't have a chance with the, obviously. But if it was more people with weapons, and again, you never know what people's mental state is. But the more people, I feel like you're not gonna run into a building with everybody got guns like you. You know what I mean? You might if you tough enough, if you brave enough, and you ready to put it all on the line. But the famous line from Raekwon is, "You got guns, we got guns too. What up, son? Do you want to battle for cash and see who Sun Tzu? You want to see who really about that life? Go at somebody that got the same shit you got." That's why people, when you see a man, because we stronger than the women. Sorry, y'all mad about that. Talk to the Most High, because He made us the way we are. When you see a man just smack the shit out of a woman, you know, women obviously be applauded. They shocked and amazed when you put the beat on. They shocked and amazed, like, oh, he smacked her head off. Other dudes get mad and like, yo, homie, you know, why you do that to your girl, or why you do that? Because you know that it's not a fair fight. Yeah, you may have those one instances where a woman gonna beat a man, but I don't care if you're a WNBA player and you tall, you're not beating no man. Not on average, you're gonna get your ass whipped. Unless you are trained and you know how to do a little something, then then you increase your odds. So with that being said, people, when men be like, yeah, well, you hitting on a woman, you hit on me, hit on a man. Or like Bruce Lee and Into the Dragon, when he was hitting the boards and all that. And Bruce Lee, you know what I mean, slim, cut up, master, kick you in your face 100 times. Boy, don't hit back. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm bringing this up and I'm being funny, but I'm not. I'm bringing this up in this sense. A lot of tough guys, a lot of tough people and all that. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan till you get punched in your face. Rest in peace, my pops, who was a boxer, a good one. You normally don't want to fight somebody that's going to give you resistance. And that's why you're called a coward, a fag, and you get the derogatory names addressed to you when you pick on people that you can beat, when you pick on women, when you oppress people that can't really fight back. Oh, when it's time to get in the roost with Bruce Lee, you know what I mean, the homie that raped his sister and all that, and he killed him, stood on him with his face like this after he jumped on his neck. Yeah, y'all remember Last Dragon. After he beat the shit out of him first, and then he went and got the glass, then Bruce came, kicked the shit out of him, then kicked him again, and then jumped on his neck and killed him. He didn't have all the smoke then. Yeah, because you meet your match. You going against people that want the smoke like you. And when you see videos of people, you can tell somebody don't want to fight, but the person still try to get their licks off, you a coward. Because you know that the person don't want no smoke. I'm bringing all of this up to say, when people walking around like in the Western days, and you had outlaws, and you had the sheriffs and all that, and you know people got burners, you a little more easy. You know what I mean? And that's what Kevin Samuels, being how we speaking to him, and in these last couple of days and shit since last week, since the passing of him, he got a quote on his channel, and a lot of times he quote this in reference to women. Because y'all don't walk around with that fear. That's why y'all could talk out the side of your neck. From the littlest, smallest one, like, you little nappy head bitch. Like, who the fuck you think you talking like Fat Joe? Who the fuck you think you talking to? I spray crews, I pay dues, look up Joey Crack. Motherfucker be like he's bad news. That's a Fat Joe reference from Who Shot Ya? The remix. Little joints. They ain't gonna beat nobody. You can't beat nobody but your kids. You can't even control your kids. Yeah, you talking to a whole grown man out the side of your neck. But the statement or the words of Kevin Samuel was like, when men talk with other men, because we are men, ain't we? You know that there's an underlying chance that it could be violence if you talk too crazy, if you don't show enough respect. It could be violence off the rip. And even if you are respectful, again, people want to get their shit off. You could be, you can be faced with a situation where you got to throw up your hands. Like Hale said, you want to do something? You throw up your hands, I'll bash your face in. Yeah. Hit you with so many lightning shots, spin you around like a top, have your teeth popping out like buttons on a shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah. You want to do something? Shout outs to KO. I mean, it's always good talking to Chan. It's always an underlying factor of violence. And that's why men that know how to fight, like Mr. Miyagi, I learn and I practice all this so I don't gotta fight. But if somebody does violate, I'm going to put foot to ass. When you know people got guns and they're equipped as well, and you don't really got all that smoke. So again, maybe if somebody was armed, you know what I mean, and we allowed to have in New York, you're not allowed, like other states and all. That's why you see the baby walking in Walmart, you know what I mean, and then just could pop off, you know what I mean? And obviously, people gonna carry guns regardless. You know what I mean? The criminals and people because they're not abiding by the law. So they don't have no fear of the law. They're like, fuck it, if I get caught, That's why you hear quotes like this in rap songs. I'd rather be tried by 12 than carried by 6. No, that means that's the 6 shot. I mean, I hope I'm alive, you know what I mean? To go to trial, to my fate to be in the fate of 12 people who I don't know, than for my fate to be taken out on the street. And that's why you hear Prodigy like, Queens get the money, long time no cash. I'm caught up in this shit where the guns go blast. I pull out my heat first. He pull out his heat last. And that's why I'm alive to this day. Try to tell these young niggas that crime don't pay. Do your thing, gotta do my kids, stay out of my way. Yeah, somebody's gonna be dead and somebody's gonna be alive. And you have some people that is fully aware of that and they don't give a fuck. They're like, nah, I'm gonna carry mine, even though it's illegal, because I'm not trying to be caught without it, and then I'll handle the consequences alive at a courtroom, as opposed to not having mine, and then, oh, I could just let you do whatever you want to me. And this last thing I'll say before I get to Styles P. It was I'm a Walking Dead fan, you know what I mean? I think it's a riveting series that you get in the seasons, because it's 13, 14 seasons. And I actually haven't seen the last two. I think 13 or 12 or whatever the last two is. Last season I've seen, I think, was 10 or 11. But maybe like in 9 or 8, you know what I mean? And it kept me in tune with that much. That's how much I love the series. Because again, the zombies is the sideshow. The real show is the humans and what humans do to other humans. Vicious. We savages. We like the songs Rihanna and them sing. I'm a savage. Didn't they tell you? I'm a savage. I do savage shit. It's in the name. It's all in the name. One episode with Egan and them, after they came down on Rick and, you know, beat the shit out of Glenn and what's the other, the box face dude, man. I can't think of his name right now. After he beat the shit out of them, he took all their weapons, all their guns. All their guns. Like, you get caught with any guns, we gonna, you know what I mean, put foot to ass. When you don't got no weapons to fight, you are the weaker. That's just is what it is. You very low on the totem pole. Like Nick Fury said to Loki inside the cage, ant, boot. You're the ant and I'm the boot. And anytime I feel like just taking your life, I'm taking your life. Your life is in my hands, literally. Like Big said, your life in that man's hands, and he's just deciding. He's just deciding while your life is in his hands. And that's no way to live. That's why, you know, in the good book it says oppression is worse than slaughter. So when you're oppressing people, that's worse than slaughtering them, according to the good book. But now that we got that out the way, if you don't have no weapons, you're done. And if you are a law-abiding citizen and you in a state where you could carry, get licensed. Carry weapons, because you never know. You don't want to be the victim of somebody that have no regards for the law and they just running wild doing what they want to do. Now let's get to Styles P. Styles P on that on We Gonna Make It. He said, teach your kids how to read and write and use the RugA. And I said, damn, black people, but you black. We all worrying about too much bubblegum shit. Fresh clothes and the Gucci watches and green Gucci suit, 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 pack 100 backwood and some Gucci shoes. Too worried about the Instagram models and, you know, the Pookies and Ray Rays and who got what and who's over who and who's under who. No organization, no mobilization, no nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and this is not all. So I know when people get stereotyped under one umbrella, I know women hate it. I know men hate it, because all black men is not criminals. That's a fact. Not all of them is Pookie and Ray Ray selling drugs, getting women pregnant. It's a lot that's building, working good jobs and living productive lives. Just like women, they're not all chasing fucking rappers. They don't all want to be Instagram thoughts. Oh, models. They don't all want to be TikTok famous. Not everybody. But when you have a large majority, you have to categorize it as it is and call a spade a spade. We be so much worrying about what WhaT 100 and what the Jim Jones, did he tell, did he didn't tell, you know what I mean, shit like that. Instead of reading and writing and having target practice. You know what I mean? This 18-year-old, he was like really Call of Duty, and I hate to say it like that. Soon as when he stepped out the car, the first person walking like, looked like he shot her twice in the head before she even hit the ground. That's how nice he was with it. Just shot through the motherfucking store on purpose, like to let the shots, whoever's standing there, and just real surgical how he did what he did. Now, I'm not saying we should do it on the other side, you know what I mean? But this was always my thoughts. Well, up north, you know, closest thing to slavery I ever been to. And I know it's not slavery, obviously. They wasn't raping our women in prison. They wasn't doing, but it was close. I mean, if like I said, if anything is close that I've seen, that's that. I never was on a chain gang, but I know, you know, down in Louisiana and places like that where people still working on the chain gang, that's probably obviously close to slavery as well. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate, even though a lot of us put ourselves there. But this is what I mean. I need more water. Water break. You have officers up north doing the most to niggas. Taking their property, abusing them, oppressing them, even though they're already in prison for whatever crimes or crimes they didn't commit. Because we know it's innocent and guilty alike. Obviously, it's less innocent people. Not naive. But nonetheless, if you're innocent, you're getting the same treatment till the pill comes through or to somebody from legal aid society come try to save you. You know what I mean? And get you out. You're going to be on that same Yaka Sobe line. Same cardboard waffle line. One syrup. That's it. I don't care if it's not enough. Soy milk or whatever kind of milk. That's all you get. Officers do the most in prison to prisoners. Certain joints you at, Attica, and you know what I mean, certain Comstock, certain spots, they do you dirty. And you can fight back. And my suggestion is you do fight back instead of just letting them wild on you. But nonetheless, you're going to get your ass whipped. Unless you are like a KO or you know how to use your hands into where they just scared because they don't really want the smoke. You got people come all the way home, forget about the time they got done dirty in prison. Officers did them dirty, do wild fuck shit to them, send their family home, don't let them go to the funerals of their moms or whoever. Come back to the same communities where they committed the crimes at, then commit more crime or do more shit to people that look like them. But won't go all the way back up north to them bars, to them places they know these officers go and do shit to them. Now, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying, like, you know, people is in the outrage in the uproar. They riled up. Bill O'Reilly, you only rally me up. And they have a right to be. People, that community was hit with a horrific tragedy, you know what I mean? And a lot of lives was lost. So a lot of people are connected. There's plenty of families hurting right now. So they supposed to be mad. But we worry about a lot of other shit instead of what really matters. And you could say Black Lives Matter, like they had to sign up, because it's a white motherfucker. But tomorrow, yesterday in the morning, you know what I mean? The shit in Milwaukee, Friday before this, it's black on black. And again, for the, you know, the activists and the people that, you know, live their life in that lane of, you know, being spokesman for the community, if you will. It's always because, you know, you live in the same neighborhood. It's really crime on crime for every, like you say in California, obviously was an Asian guy who went up there and he shot some Asian people or some Taiwan people, whoever he shot up. And I think he killed like 2 people. So it wasn't on a scale like this. But when we going to stop though? When we going to put some value on our own lives? Because you could, it's the hypocrisy is it of it. If you travel all the way to BuFFaLo, like when my son and Tamika was going to different states and shit and mobilizing the people, even if you go all the way up there, do that shit even matter? You know what I mean? If you standing out there with a sign that says, you know, Black Lives Matter and no justice, no peace and all that, but when in your own neighborhood, niggas is getting killed every day, left and right, can we even say that? Styles P said, teach your kids how to read and write, something productive. It's coming from a rapper. Like, teach your kids how to read and write and use the RugA, because one day they just may have to. You know what I mean? Instead of, as opposed to little kids playing in the bathroom all live, everything's for the gram, and kill their own selves. Unfortunately, horrible way to go out. And then the girl She killed her cousin and dropped to the floor. She still was alive. Somehow picked the gun up, a head trigger, killed her own self. Unfortunately, we see a lot of buffoonery and bubblegum shit going on. And obviously they keep us distracted with the manosphere, the women's sphere, pink pill, red pill, all this dumb shit. The rappers and how they entertaining and, you know, the young thugs and they get into RICO laws and people putting out hits. And there's a lot of people think they God out here. It's like, yo, when you really got to answer and, you know, if you're still alive, you got a chance. The only thing to my knowledge, and I don't know everything, but the only thing to my knowledge, God is not forgiving is suicide, because you're not supposed to take your own life. It don't belong to you. It's only a gift to you. It's only a loan to you. You don't get to take your own life. And associating partners with him, like saying it's a son and it's a mother and it's a daughter and it's another God, a female God, it's a male God. Those things, no forgiveness for. Murder, you can't be forgiven for murder. Other things, you know, lying, cheating, doing stuff, adultery, all this other stuff. All those things can be forgiven if you ask for forgiveness sincerely and then you try to live right after that. It's not like, oh, I'm thinking, forgive me, then you go do the same shit. Because you obviously, how could you be forgiven when you keep doing the same shit? You got to actually put some action and some work behind it. Counseling, you know, you got to work on yourself and continue the process. Like Joel Embiid and them, they out there. You got to trust the process. And I don't want to get too, you know, off, even though it's my show, I do what I want. We live, we rolling, we unscripted. Yeah, I do what I want over here. If you tuned in, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We got to stop playing around because, again, even though you seen the subway shooter, Frank James, Ferguson, you got black motherfuckers that shoot. What was it, Muhammad and his son, the snipers, when they was just going and shooting people out the trunk of their car. It's a lot of crazy, deranged people. We need to be more mindful, and I become more aware of that being on the e-bike, rolling through New York City like Batman, you know what I mean? And just seeing how when you outside, you could be outside and mad shit could be going on. But people are still like this. They online. They got to get that fix. And after watching that series, that documentary, social media dilemma. You say, oh wow, we in the matrix. So you got to unplug. And I haven't been on, besides YouTube, I haven't been on, I looked at a few trending topics on Twitter, obviously, Kevin saying stuff like that. But I haven't, I was more big on Instagram. I haven't been on Instagram in almost 50 days. You know what I mean? 50 days. And I feel like I don't know the Joneses. I don't know what's going on, who got killed, what's said. You see, that's why I was on the train and I see Wallow and Gilly and I see the older lady. I'm like, damn, she following them? It was kind of like, their platform is big. You know what I mean? $1 million worth of game. We gotta do better by our kids, and we gotta be more mindful in these streets. Obviously, when you go to the movies, when you go to your house of worship, when you go to the supermarket, yeah, you don't think somebody's gonna come in there crazy deranged and they hate black niggas and they're gonna start shooting the place up. But how many more times does this gotta happen? If they're gonna kill kids and people just gonna come shoot randomly, you gotta keep your head on the swivel. I couldn't believe it. Like I said, the subway shooting shit happened whenever it happened. But I got on the train maybe like 2-3 days right after, and people was back like it was nothing. I couldn't believe it. And don't get me wrong, like I said in that video when I did my live, some people wasn't on their phone and they was looking around, through the mask, looking at people with the side eye, like looking at the clothes, the sneakers. You sizing people up. You looking at body language. You try to get a feel and a read on like what's going on. And sometimes you just get on the train because you so tired. I'm dog tired today. So once that inertia start moving and you start rocking forth with the train, you just start going to sleep and you like this. And then you out, you know what I mean? You out and you sleep. And then that shit go, boo-doo, and then you jump up and you know exactly your stop. So I get it. Now, New Yorker, you like, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Then you see the bums being there, just laying down. And then, the subway system is a whole nother world. But in these days and times that we living in, is that really the move that you want to be doing? Not paying attention, just walking down. Like I told you, when I see people, especially if they female, just walking down because they the most unprotected and they the most loudest. And they'll walk right and then you just stand right there. chest out. You know what I mean? Like, until they get close, right? Oh, excuse me, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you need to be more observant. You know what I mean? You walking with the headphones on because you don't want to hear niggas catcalling you, but you got the whole stripper outfit on, and I get it. You can wear what you want. And if you got a nice ass, I got to look. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to look if you got a nice ass. I like big butts, and I'm not going to lie. When they walking in these, you know, street walking outfits, even though they women of the Lord, they have the headphones in, you know what I mean? So they don't got to hear and answer the shit. But while you don't got to hear the niggas calling you, that's cat calling you, somebody may be telling you, you know, a truck is coming or something has happened that you need to be aware. And and not all of them got music on. Some of them is just the game. That's just the game. Some of it's just game. They just got it in the air to make it look like they're not paying you no mind. Cause I was saying saying something to a lady, not hollering at her, but like, watch out, just because you just walking looking like you oblivious. And who I was with Bars, I was with Grave, I was with somebody, and she like, I can hear you, you know what I mean? And so I'm saying that to say, just because they got it in their ears, don't mean that they can't hear or they got music on. And I always tell people, like, if you gotta, you know, maybe you don't want to be hands free, you know, so you can talk on the phone, etc. Have one ear in so you can hear and you can be alert of what's going on, because we living in fucked up times. We living in the last days. Tony, there was no other way. You could believe it or you could not believe it, but it is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Obviously, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But last quick thing though, because we coming up on the 8 hour. Last quick thing. Some shit happened in Dallas. It's another reason why, you know, like when it comes to the agenda wars and supremacy and the Ku Klux Klan and, you know, but you black, them not respecting us because we don't respect ourselves. And, you know, if I could kill 10 black niggas and people gonna be like, free the bro, he the big homie, he put that work in, he put that pain in. But when a white motherfucker do, I know I get it's like, nigga say nigga, we cool, but cracker say nigga, nut the fuck up, but I gotta be the fast nigga to never be the last nigga, or I have to beat your ass, nigga. In the city, you see action first. Then hear about it later in the verse of Curly. That's the Easy E reference. I know some of y'all youngins, you know what I mean? I don't know about that life. One of the best albums in hip hop, even though it's ratchet in the hood, saying shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, niggas for life. NWA. Dallas, and I've been to Dallas. I've been to Dallas only one time, All-Star Weekend. What was it, 2007? 2009. I think 2009. Yeah, 2009. 2007, I think it was Vegas All-Star Weekend. 2009, no matter of fact, I think it was more like 2011. Anyway, I was in Dallas before, and it was lit. And we was in Jerry's World, and that's where the All-Star game was, and we was having a good time, you know what I mean, etc. But you could sense the racism out there, and I you know, just like in other prisons, you can sense it more from the officers, or they just got a certain energy and vibe they give off. And I just was speaking about this, and you don't have to meet a person a day in your life, but the energy that they, you know, give off, the aura that they have surrounding them, their spirit, whatever their spirit is, you could tell, like, oh, this person is trouble. Oh, this bitch gonna be a problem. Let me take my ass this way. Is she drinking? I mean, let me go this way. I mean, see that look on her face, fit, feminine, and friendly. I can't even rock with it if it's not that. And that's the basic minimum. Yeah, like fit, feminine, and friendly. It's the basic minimum. Side note. But anyway, coming out of, you know, Dallas, Texas, Dallas and shit, it's a story that went viral of a 9-year-old boy coming to knock on a home with a whip in his hand. A whip, yeah, like chains and whips, and they call me whips and chains, and raps my game. You ask me again, I'll just tell you the same. Das Effect reference. They want to flex. Comes to the door, knocks on the door with a whip, talks to the mom crazy, like looking for the 9-year-old daughter. Allegedly, maybe kind of saw that he think he got jumped by her brother and his friends, even though allegedly he was saying some racial shit and hitting people with skateboards. Like, oh, you want to hit people with garbage cans? I'm going to shoot your pinky toe off, bitch. Yeah, I'm going, here's my pinky toe right here. I'm going to shoot your pinky toe off. Came knocking on the door, like, and, you know, and I be in the comments. Somebody was like, you know, what's the sad thing is he going to be a police officer later on in life, most likely. If he don't do nothing crazy where, you know, psychologically they deem him unfit. Most likely he is going to be a police officer. But if not, he gonna be a police officer. His father got a weapon, and like I said, the story is trending. I just found out about it today. Go knocks on their door. Mother don't let him in. Tell him like, yo, get up out of here. Call the police. It's all caught on camera. Y'all seen the clip. Then scratches their car up. It's a black family. They goes to the, his house, the little boy's house. Knocks on the door. Father comes to the door. Confrontation. Obviously, he got the burner. You know what I mean? Comes outside. Put the burner down. It goes off. Could have hit his own child. His child was in the doorway of his daughter. And it's just crazy. Like, police ain't resolve the situation, ain't really do nothing about the situation. And this is what we living in. And all people are not like this. But I think we should take Styles P. Like, say don't listen to rappers, don't listen to YouTubers, don't take these entertainers and these athletes for your Elons and your gods and all that. Definitely don't take none for them. But you can learn a lot from rap. And Kendrick Lamar album, his album is fire. His new album, I'm gonna have to listen to it a few more times to digest it, because it's not just a club banger and you ain't gonna be rocking in the club and all that. You're gonna have to sit down and think about some things. I mean, take introspect of yourself. You know what I mean? Are you a sex addict? Are you out here doing the mostest? You know what I mean? And a lot of stuff. The LGBT community, like he talked about a vast range of topics. But we'll get to Kendrick Lamar another time. In this case here, I think we need to listen to Styles P. And again, before you go out in the street and Black Lives Matter and fight the power, and I'm rocking Martin right now, and I just talked about Malcolm X and Martin in reference to Vivica Fox and the karma, her dumb ass. Can't believe. Now I can believe it. I'm not shocked in the maid she said this shit. We need to teach our kids how to read and write, put more education in the forefront, and then teach them how to defend themselves. Teach them martial arts. Teach them hand-to-hand combat, just in case, especially the little girls. Because you know what happens when the men get taken over. It's another stuff Kevin used to talk about. And this hypothetically, but it's also throughout history. The conquered people, the women get taken with them. That's if they don't want to kill y'all. Kill the kids and the babies, bring the women with us. And then you bow down to whoever's in leadership. That's just what it is. They kill off the men, so it's no opposition. If that ever happens, at least you could try to defend yourself and your family. This woman was home by herself. We know a lot of times women get rolled on when there ain't no man around, you know what I mean? And, it's a lot of suckers and wicked people out here. So the only way to avoid it is to be prepared, get prepared, so you don't got to get ready, and stay prayed up. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, POPAVIST. Y'all was just tuned in to my show, which is POPAVIST TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.